Today, we are joined by Danielle Mitchell, who has a background in marketing and she teaches her clients how to become influencers. Today, Danielle is talking to us about how to make your LinkedIn irresistible in 72 hours. Now, before we begin, I always would like to say thank you for each and every one of you for joining us each week. It's because of you and your that we are able to continue to provide this broadcast with you to agents nationwide at no cost. So it's free education. Just a quick reminder of the event we have up this Friday. We have Fun Fact Friday. This will be about team support, integration, and web. So it is one that you'll want to make sure you join in on. But for now, we have Danielle with us. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
How are you today?
I am doing absolutely fantastic, and I am really excited to talk to everyone about how to use LinkedIn for their business.
Good. Well, we're excited to have you, so thank you for joining us. You want to just start out by introducing yourself and your audience a little bit more about you?
Yes. So my name is Danielle Mitchell, and I live in the Chicagoland area. I have a background in marketing. I studied marketing in college and then worked at L'Oreal, as well as I worked at Coca-Cola for a number of years, around 4 years. During that time, I decided that I was interested in building my personal brand and making some side hustle money. And there is where I started coming up with all of these different strategies to grow and learn your business. So my current brand is called Average Black Girl, and we are a resource hub for entrepreneurs and business owners. There are courses from branding to LinkedIn, and it will give you marketing strategies that convert to finding your customers.
Very cool. I love the way you brand yourself.
Thank you.
It's very cool. When creating your profile, so when it comes to LinkedIn, when creating your profile, how can you make sure it stands out among others?
Right. So there are 3 things within LinkedIn that are super important when it comes to your profile. The first thing that I want to do, though, before we get into that, is I want everybody to know why LinkedIn is important. Because if you're like me, I need to know why people are pushing something for me to really get on board. So one, with the LinkedIn statistics, there are 4 that I want to share with you. 1 out of 3 professionals are on it. 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than $75,000. So if you're looking for your paid next client, you definitely want to compete there. The third thing is that 59% of LinkedIn users don't use Twitter. So you're really on an entire different network of people. And along with that statistic, 13% don't have a Facebook account. So unlike when you go to Facebook and Instagram, you kind of have the same people. With LinkedIn, you really are on a different wavelength, and you don't have to worry about your clients being dragged down with overloading your content or feeling like you're only talking to the same amount of people. So that's the first thing. Now, when it comes to your profile, the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a custom URL. A lot of people don't know, but you can create a custom URL. And so especially if you're someone like me, my name is Danielle Mitchell, there are a lot of us out there. So I need my custom URL because you would hate to send people to someone else. You've done all this work to get them to check you out and go to your profile or go to your page, and then they get confused and you're sending business to someone else. How frustrating can that be? So you want to make sure that you have a custom URL. The second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a banner picture. Now, for those of us that aren't on LinkedIn a lot, there has been some changes. The banner picture used to not be there at all. Now it's a blue background. So right now, if you look at people's backgrounds, you can tell who's actually on LinkedIn and who isn't. So you want to have one of 2 things. You want to have a professional picture of you in your element. So that can be a professional picture of you speaking to people, shaking a client's hand, you in your element. If you don't have that, then take a picture of you with someone famous, right? If I take a picture with Oprah, it doesn't matter if it was her business or not. People are going to automatically assume that I'm serious about my business. It's all about perception. And if you don't have anything like that, don't worry. There are a lot of stock images that you can get. So I would get one that is a desk because you guys are more professional. that's more home-centered. So maybe there's a home moving book. Maybe there's a measuring tape. Something that is specific to your niche still has a little bit of personality. So for anyone that is looking for stock images, if you just go to averageblackgirl.com and type in stock images, I have 2 blogs filled with stock images that I think are useful. Some that are super feminine for people that want to kind of have that side, some that are super masculine, some that are different colors. So whatever you're looking for, I'm sure that there is some sort of stock image that you can find for yourself. So that's the next thing that you want to do. The other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are able to have a bio. A lot of times people don't fill out that bio and they just go straight to their work history. But when you're scrolling on your phone, before I decide that I want to click on your page and see your work history, there is your bio. So that is where you thank people for looking at your bio. Talk a little bit about what it is that you do. Give all of your information and links. Contact me at this. We specialize in these 3 bullet points. Sell me, because that is how I'm going to be able to, 1, decide if I want to connect with you, and 2, make sure that I'm able to actually contact you when I need to. A lot of times we make it really difficult for people to contact us. And so just by making a bio and giving it some quick tips, you're able to make your lead not take so long. So that's the next thing. And then the last thing that you want to do is if you have a company, you want to put your company page up there. So a lot of times we'll have, Danielle Mitchell Realtor. And if you don't have a LinkedIn company page, or if you're not connecting it to your overall company page and you just put that in there, it'll look like a skyscraper that is blue. And that is the default. So when I click it, it doesn't go anywhere. And so I just want people to kind of take a step back and think of it like this. If I'm not serious enough to create my company page or connect it, why would I want to give you money? Especially when I see that other people are doing it and taking it seriously. So those are the couple of steps that I would do first to make sure that your profile is up to par.
So it's creating that custom link, making sure your profile picture and background is professional. So you have stock images, which actually, can you repeat your website again?
Yes. It's averageblackgirl.com, and just go into the search tab and type in stock images.
Okay, we do have her website linked in the description of the video too. You can just click it from there. So those are a few important keys to create your profile. Now, can you talk to us about taglines?
Yes. So within the tagline, what the default is going to be your work history. So it may say account manager, right? But an account manager is totally different depending on what business you're in, right? An account manager for Coca-Cola is going to be completely different than an account manager for a medical sales company. And so by you just saying those broad words, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that stands like. And I'm going to have to go to your website and look at your job description to figure out exactly what it is that you do. So I want people to kind of take a step back. What LinkedIn is becoming is it's becoming a search engine. So when people are searching for different people, depending on their job history or their current history, they're going to be looking to be able to search by your description. They have allowed for people to do that. So for instance, I could say that I am the CEO of Average Black Girl, but what does that mean? You don't know. I don't even know what that means, right? I put that I'm an international marketing strategist because I want you to know 3 things. 1, that I work with people global and in the US. 2, that I do marketing. And when you Google marketing that'll pop up. 3, that I'm a strategist. That means that I know not only can do consulting, but I can do project management. Those are the overall perceptions that people are getting because I've changed it from the job description to exactly what it is that I do. So I just want everybody, if people are like, well, I don't know how to start, just go and Google what people in your industry are linking themselves as, and then you can start from there. And with LinkedIn, they allow for a longer tagline. So you can have multiple keywords in there if you want, especially if you want to get found. So I would just start by searching other people and acting like you were your customer. If you're your client, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a realtor? Are you looking for a leasing agent? Are you looking for someone to help with renting, relocation? But you think about all those things and start typing in and see what people come up with, and then you'll find what is best for you. But ultimately, within social media, the goal is not always to be selling to our same people, it's to be finding new people every day to sell to our existing content. Then it's not so hard. It's so much easier to sell and find new people than to keep creating this new content. So if you think of yourself like that, hey, I just want new people to look at my existing content, and how can I make myself easier to be found?
Got it. Now, the taglines on LinkedIn, do they separate each word, or is it kind of all bunched together like a hashtag would?
Well, no. So when I say tagline, I'm talking about the name. So it's separated. You can have separate words. Yes. So you can have separate words and everything with that. So if you want to put a line on there, you can, a dash. There's people are getting really creative because they're understanding that with their, and I'll get to this in a minute, there's like automation tools where you can find people based on keywords. So people are getting creative and making sure that they're in their job description are these quote unquote keywords to be found.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. When you're creating articles on LinkedIn, what are the best topics to use?
So I think that people want to stick with 3 different topics. One, if there's something trending that's related to your industry, definitely hop on it. Or if there's something that's trending and you can flip it to make sense in your industry, touch on it. So for instance, people were talking about 2 weeks ago about Kanye West gifting Kim this like $1 million condo on Miami Beach. That would have been a great topic for you to then take that trending topic and say 3 reasons why they got this property, or 3 reasons why you would want a storefront, or a beachfront, or 5 ways that you can buy your dream house in 2019, and start with their story. Why? Because it's clickable, right? A lot of times we have all this great information, but if no one's seeing it, it's not helping anyone. So trending likes matter, but you just want to make sure that you do whatever is necessary that doesn't affect your integrity of your brand. So you don't want to talk about everything, but things that make sense, you can definitely use. So one story that I like to talk about is last year around January, Solange, which is Beyonce's sister, she did a video director of this breakout artist called SZA. And the song was called The Weekend. It was like #1 for forever. And the video, when it came out, although it was highly anticipated, it was a really big fail. People hated it. It was not good at all. And so what I did was I took that idea, that topic, and I said, these are 5 marketing fails that Solange used. She didn't survey her audience. She didn't think about the long road of the goal, right? We don't want to just be artsy. We want to have views. She had the opportunity to be the most viewed female music video of 2018, but she didn't think about the replays that people want with a storyline. What happened? Well, Taylor Swift did it correctly, and she ended up having the most viewed person because she had a person that was looking at the long term and not being creative. So just giving people advice about how, hey, this was a bad idea, and this is why it was bad in terms of a business decision within marketing. So I'm not, taking away from the integrity of my business and the content and the topics that I talk about, but I'm able to relate to people that overall wouldn't have related to me had I not talked about something that was our meshing point. So that's #1. #2 is how-tos. People love to get information, especially information that they can turn around, implement, and get results. What is that doing? That's making trust. That's making likability. that's making me able to come to you and think of you as now a resource hub because your content is useful and not just someone that's pushing their brand. So a lot of times people are confused. They'll be like, I don't know what to talk about. And it's like, break it down into tips of 3 or 4 and act like you're talking to a 3rd grader. Because a lot of times we forget, just because we know a lot about our topic doesn't mean that everybody knows the same amount of information. So if you just break it down, then you'll post. Now, when it's coming to posting on LinkedIn, a lot of times people will either just make articles or just make posts. And you want to do both. You want to make articles because articles allow those contents to stay forever. So if I find you 5 years from now, I can go to your profile and look at your articles and see what you wrote. So you want to showcase that you are an expert in the industry. You're up on industry terms. You are knowledgeable with these how-tos. You are just very, very, very knowledgeable about what you're talking about and passionate. And that makes me want to be with you. And these things can be transferable. Say you do something else. Well, if you're showing that you're nice to people, you're knowledgeable about what's going on in your industry, those things are things that I want to work with, regardless if you're doing houseware, homeware, clothing. It doesn't matter. I like people that are serious about what they're doing, and that's what you're showcasing. Now, articles don't get as much visibility as posts, which is why you want to do both. So I like to say for people to start out, make one article maybe the 1st and the 15th of the month, just to try it out. And then you can make a post about that same article in between those weeks because you want to see the traction. Now with the post, you can either have a short how-to and have a picture, or you can have a blurb, a paragraph, and a picture and say, click more for information. And now you can lead people to your website. So now you're turning LinkedIn into a lead generator. Now you're taking people from the platform to your domain where you're able to give them your free opt-in or however you collect people that come to your site. So there is 2 ways to utilize LinkedIn, but a lot of times people are now noticing once they use LinkedIn a little bit more frequently that when people are searching your name, LinkedIn will be on the first page now. I don't know what they're doing with SEO, but people are starting to notice that. So if people are noticing you on that platform, you want to make sure that you have enough information to prove that you are an expert in your industry there. And then wherever they find you next, again, you want that same information. So these things are transferable. Whatever platform you're going to, you want to make sure that there's information that can validate you.
Yeah, that's great information. I didn't know about the articles and the posts. And you have a lot of great information about LinkedIn, and people are mentioning it. So thanks again for being here. So you did talk about when you should create posts already. So kind of not as often as articles, right?
Right. Okay. So I would say for posts, you definitely, once you start kind of playing with LinkedIn, they'll show how many people are on your profile. So I like to tell people, do everything for a month, and then that's your standard. And then you want to keep people on there. Like you don't want to have 300 people viewing your profile one week and then 0 people the next. You want to keep it at 300. So as you start to post things, you can see what is relevant because you can share other people's information if it's something that's within your industry. So for people that are like, I really can't just do one topic. That's just not me. I'm multifaceted. Well, then just pick 3 because I think that anything after 3, it gets a little sketchy. And this is why. You are in your business every day. I may see you once a month, or I may see you a couple times a month. So if you are 5 things, how can I remember that to refer you? Mm-hmm. You have to pick some things so that people can affiliate you with a couple of things. So for me, I am overall marketing, but I'm web design, marketing strategies, and finding partnerships. So that overall umbrella still makes sense for those 3 that I've expanded. Now, do I like a lot of other things? Of course. But as I'm building my brand, giving people more than that will just be confusing and won't be helpful. So I want people to kind of think of that as well. So if you're like, I need to talk about at least a couple of more things than real estate, then that's fine. But you need to figure out what your three are and maintain that. So for everyone, I would say your goal is to grow. Like when I first started doing this, I want to say I probably had around 1,000 followers. Now I have 10,000 followers. So the goal is to keep growing. I want to have 20,000 by the end of this year. So I don't want to post and then go ghost because I had a post that's doing really well from 3 months ago. I want to continue to put out content and continue to be shared and have more connections.
Perfect. Well, that definitely makes sense. How can you, and you kind of touched on this a little bit already as well, but how can you create a strategy to reach out to target potential leads?
Yes. So you can do it a couple of different ways. So my favorite tool within LinkedIn is called the LinkedIn Helper. And it is an automation tool. So what you can do is you can, if you want a company, let's say you want Google, right? And you want all the people that work at Google to be connected with you within the Los Angeles state, right? Mm-hmm. What you can do is you can search people that work at that company, and you can search people that live in that state or that city metropolitan area that you're trying to target, and you can message them directly. Once you message them directly and they connect, then you are able to figure out what you want. So do you want to have a company presentation? Do you want to have partner with an org within the company? Maybe you want to partner with the women's org or the Latino org or the Black org, or whatever you're looking for. What is your goal for that? So for me, when I look to partner with companies, I will blast everyone and then I will send an email, because at that point, they're going to then go and look at my LinkedIn anyway. It'd be nice if I was already connected with someone. Or, and this is if you want to just get really technical, if you want to work with, let's say, the decision maker is VP of inclusion or VP of partnerships or something like that, you will then look for their secretary and just connect with them. And then the secretary, once you get on the phone with them, you're able to sell yourself and they'll put you on the calendar. So that's how I use it. I go kind of through the back door. If I want the head honcho, I'll find out who the secretary is. I'll connect with them, get on the phone with them, and then I've never had anybody tell me no. So once you're on the phone, like you're good. But how do you get on the phone? How do you get that connection? This is how you do it. And when you're consistent about your content, then it doesn't matter when people accept, because with these automations, you may apply and send a request, let's say on the first of the month. But just because you're on LinkedIn more often now doesn't mean that other people are. So LinkedIn is not like Facebook and Instagram where people are on every day, all day. LinkedIn is situational. I may go on if I'm looking to hire. I may go on if I'm looking to have a new job. I may go on if I'm looking to partner. And then once I get what I want, I'm gone again until I want something else. So sometimes people are on once a month. People are on once a week. It all depends. And so LinkedIn's algorithm is different than everybody else's as well because of that. So if someone likes your post from 3 months ago, it'll still be on people's feeds as long as new people are liking this post, which is why I said articles and posts are important, because depending on what they like, I may pop in 3 months from now and you are still in my timeline because you have so many likes and comments. So the goal for posting on LinkedIn is engagement, not just facts. So start with some questions, get some clickbaity text titles and things like that, because the engagement will make it work for you. And once you get into your groove and figure out what people want, you'll be spending maybe 3 hours a week on LinkedIn and get so much bang for your buck. Versus like Instagram, you got to do stories and all types of stuff, and it still is not enough, right? You're gonna have to pay for ads and posts and sponsored posts and things like that to really get there. With LinkedIn, you don't have to. I've been able to get this number without having to pay for a LinkedIn ad.
Wow. That's amazing that you did that without having to do anything.
Thank you.
So that's called LinkedIn Helper, correct?
Yes, and it's a Google Chrome extension.
Perfect. Well, you've provided us with so much information today. I really appreciate you talking to us for 25 minutes. It's been wonderful. How can people find you and tell us a little bit more about things that you offer?
Yeah, so if anybody's looking to connect with me, I am everywhere at Average Black Girl. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Average Black Girl. And I also have, for those that are wanting to kind of dive a little bit more into LinkedIn, I have a LinkedIn course. So if you go to avageblackgirl.com and just go to courses, it'll pop up. Or if you just go, it's aboveaverageuniversity.teachable.com. So for those that are familiar with Teachable, it's my favorite platform to learn different courses. So there are video content. There is a free trial with the LinkedIn Helper that you get, and you are able to have that for life. And so it comes with the LinkedIn workbook so that you are able to make sure that you're filling everything together and create the strategy that works for you. With social media, it is a marathon, not a race. So what I want to leave you guys with is that when you are doing your strategies, the goal is not to focus on LinkedIn one week and then focus on Twitter the next and then focus on Instagram the next. You want to make a strategy that you can continually do and never make a break, because these platforms are becoming mean. Meaning if you leave, they will then start to take points away and make it harder for you to have that exposure that everyone has. So that is what I'm noticing. So I tell everybody, if you can post 2 times a week and you know that you can do that, then just do that. But don't burn yourself out and post every day and then you need a break for 2 weeks, because you're not going to help yourself and you're going to be very frustrated.
You'll be going, and it dies. And then you just that moment.
And you start way back when you started and you will be so frustrated.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Danielle. It was wonderful having you on, and everyone who has joined us, you can find Danielle's information in the description of this video. And you can also find the link to that LinkedIn course that he was talking about as well, if you guys want to work with Danielle some more and a little bit more about LinkedIn. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. And once again, thank you so much, Danielle, for joining us today and providing us with all your wonderful information.
All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, make sure to join us next week. Next week, we'll be talking to author and mentor Judy Hilberman, and she will be talking to us about self-discipline and how successful people stay self-disciplined. So we'll see you all next week, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye.